streaming today. Thought I could actually find my phone somewhere. It's gotta be here somewhere. Here it is. Alright, just doing a quick microphone test. Let's hope I'm not too delayed. Alright, just doing a quick microphone test.
Testing.
Alright, we're good. Alright, we're back. I've never played Tekken 8. Or actually, that's not true. I played Tekken 8 when I bought it about a week ago. I think I bought it a week ago or something like that. So I have just like a small amount of experience with the game. So far, though, I'm loving it. I only played for one day because I only felt like playing for one day because I sometimes don't feel like playing fighting games. That's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes I want to play other games, but I'm back. So I figure the best way to learn is to fight because I don't know another way to learn. Because even if I were to go into practice mode, I can't read the move list. So I figure let's just go in the rack and see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? That can't be any worse than DSP, you know? If I'm any worse than fucking Phil, then that's how you know. That's how you know that I'm a terrible gamer, you know? So, you know what? Anything that I do today here will be hopefully better than Darkside Phil. And the reason I wanted to stream this now is because I was watching a roasting video for him, and so I thought I'd come on and just kind of see what happens, you know. But yeah, let's get started. I'm not necessarily expecting anyone to come in because it's nighttime. So I'm not really expecting any viewers. But I figured I'd stream for a while anyway, because let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. If I remember right, this should be the online menu, and if it's correct, then I should just be able to hit A and go into ranked. I'll know based on the music, though. Okay, that's a story. Great story, by the way, I gotta say. I've been making my way through it for a while now. So the way the menus work, I believe the second tab is the online menu, but I don't remember. That's the problem. I'll find it here. I'll know based on the music where we are. Okay, that's the arcade-like thing that they have. Okay. Of course, this game has no accessibility whatsoever. So let's see. It should be ranked. There we go. Now we're in ranked. Now we should be in ranked match. I think I just have to wait. I'm pretty sure. I don't exactly remember, but I think I just have to wait to get into the lobby, into the yeah. Okay. I think I only have to wait. I don't exactly remember, but I think that's what you gotta do here. I don't remember though. I think that's what you gotta do. If anyone is experienced in this, let me know. I'm hoping that there's a menu guide that comes out eventually for this game, because it's like Street Fighter 6. You know, you want to play, you want to play a game like this. You have an online menu for learning how to, select your character and stuff, and whatever else. But this is indeed the online menu. I know that for sure. I don't remember whether or not I have to get filtered into the lobby or something. I know that when the music changes, I should be able to select my character. I don't exactly remember how you do that. Sort of thing. Plus, of course, this is not the online menu at all, but I remember it being this way. Pretty sure. We'll get there eventually. It's not a big deal. I think this might be casual matches. Because I somehow remember the other one being the ranked sound. I watched many streams of TEKKEN actually. I've been watching TEKKEN streams since the game came out actually.
I love watching it, actually. It's really fun to watch. People are pretty cool at it. So, I think I have an idea. I would hook up the PS5 to my capture card, but I can't get my capture card to work for some reason. I don't really know why. My capture card doesn't seem to be working at all with OBS now, and I don't really know why that's the case. And if I knew that I could fix that, I would. But unfortunately, I don't know what the heck is wrong with it. You know, I think it'd be kind of cool if you could vertically stream on PS5. That'd be cool, because you can do that on OBS with the vertical streaming plugin that came out some time ago. And that works, I think, pretty well. People have said before that it works pretty well, and hey, I'm not gonna, I'm not going to bash them for saying that, because it's probably true. I could always do the other thing and just move to Mortal Kombat, but I don't feel like it. I feel like playing Tekken. Let's go back to the other menu. I think the other menu should be the online menu, the ranked online menu, not the casual one. Okay, this should be the online menu for ranked. I don't remember if I have to just wait, or if I have to do something to indicate that I'm ready to fight. I know I've done it before, though. I remember doing this before. Because I did have a couple fights online, actually. Oh, man. But we'll figure it out, Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to wait for the menu to load. Should just be able to load, no problem. Let's see. I don't remember having to do anything. It just, what it did was I didn't press anything, and then it just somehow took me to the character select menu. Where the music changes, because this itself is not the character select menu at all. It's a different menu. I know one thing, the music in this game is pretty awesome. All the way through. You really can't go wrong with this music.
And there's one thing about Tekken games that I love, it's the music. The games have never been accessible to us, even less so in the previous games. But I mean, I guess
since the inclusion of stereo audio, it's gotten a little bit easier to play. I love it for that reason. That's why I bought the game, because even though the menus aren't narrated in the slightest, and I don't think they'll ever be, as I don't see any Japanese studio really working toward this kind of progress, at least not as much as American studios have. And that's not really a gripe on Japanese studios, because, I mean, let's face the facts. I mean, Japanese studios, and the cultural shift hasn't happened yet for Japanese people when it comes to people with disabilities. And it's just kind of one of those things that just hasn't happened yet. It's almost like they're stuck in like the early 2000s or like the 1990s in that regard, because you know, we've sort of moved forward in a lot of ways as a gaming culture here in the US, and people with disabilities are being looked at as important now to make games accessible for, in various aspects. Like even the new Spider-Man game apparently is people are making their way through it who are blind, and it's because of the descriptions, the audio descriptions, and the new nav audio cue thing. That's a part of it, and so it's one of those things that's like, oh yes, and the TTS that reads the audio, the prompts, and everything like that. So as a result, I would say Americans, we really are starting to move toward more inclusive titles, and that's to be commended for sure. In a lot of ways, over the past 10, 15 years, things really have changed. Whereas 10, 15 years ago, we would have been laughed at for wanting to play video games. Now people are starting to understand that we can, and that we love to play games, even if they're not accessible games. Because I love Tekken. I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. I've gotten every Tekken game since. I didn't get Tekken 4 because for me, you know, I didn't even know about Tekken 4 or even the Tekken series until Tekken 5. So, I got Tekken 5, I got Tekken 6, I got Tekken 7, and I got Tekken 8, because that's just the progression of things. When it comes to playing Tekken, even if it's not accessible, it's still fun to play, because of the way the game is made. Just the fighting style is so good. And I don't know, I just have always loved Tekken as a series. You know, is it crazy drama? Yeah. Is it family drama? That probably goes incredibly far, more far than a lot of things. Yeah, it does, but well, it's Japanese. What do you expect from the Japanese but to go extremely far in their content? You know. And so, honestly, what I'm saying now, I hope doesn't come out as racist, but it's actually true, you know, and it's not a slight on Japanese people, or, you know, I'm, you know, quite a big fan of the Japanese as a whole, you know, but, you know, facts are facts, and the facts are that on a basic level, people with disabilities are not seen as equal citizens in Japan, because if they were, then things like this wouldn't be that big of a problem. You know, the cultural shift hasn't happened yet. Over there, you know, people with disabilities are seen as burdens to the society of Japan, and I kind of get that from a collectivist view. That's kind of how it is, because the Japanese people, the Japanese society is very collectivist. You know, there's no individual expression of thought places around the world. You know, the Japanese are very much a societally based culture that is all based on what people can do to build the community. And because, as a whole, people with disabilities are not seen as equal over there, that would mean that they wouldn't necessarily start thinking about games as something that a person with a disability could play over there. And I'm not saying that all Japanese people out there are this way, because that would be wrong to say, because I'm sure there's many people out there who would support my view that people with disabilities should be treated equally and should be able to play games just as anyone else does, even in Japan. But the societal shift just hasn't happened yet as a whole. And for a collectivist society like Japan, there has to be a level of societal pressure and societal change to forge that view, to make that a wide-standing view among the Japanese as a whole. Because unless that happens, it's not going to. Because the collectivist nature of the Japanese is never going to allow it. You know, and if it had allowed it, even 10 or 20 years ago, I can almost guarantee you that the Japanese would be the most innovative people out there. They would come up with different accessibility solutions that many people in the world would look to Japan for help and for guidance on disability, because they did it already with their creation of the accessible roads. They have an entire system throughout their entire country that is accessible just by virtue of it being the transportation, for the most part, done on the trains. You know, the Shinkansen is very big in Japan. The train system. And so they did it with that. The streets are all paved in a way that makes it accessible for a blind person to navigate the entire country. And they're very, very careful about that. But the next step for the Japanese is to work on things like video games. And I think that's really the next step out there. Because I know when the music is changing. You know, Nintendo, I have lost faith in Nintendo for the past 20 years or so. I have no faith that Nintendo will ever catch up, you know, and that's not really something that I think will ever be the case. It never has been a goal of Nintendo's to be inclusive, and that's just how it is. They've almost never have made an actual effort to include people with disabilities in their gaming platforms. It was by accident a lot of the times that we were able to play any of their games for even as well as we have. Whether it be the Wii or the Switch. I have a Switch myself, you know. I had a Wii for so many years, more than 10 years I had a Wii. It's actually been more than 15 years since I owned the Wii. Since 2000, I believe it was 2009 or 10, and now it's 2024. You know, so almost 15 years. I'd have to say 2009 maybe. Point is, I've owned the Wii, I've owned the Game Boy, I've owned so many consoles from Nintendo, you know. And I've always found it to be, while fun, based on what we've been able to play, the least accessible experience over the past 15 or 20 years that I've had a Nintendo product in my hands. The 3DS, of course. You know, I had Tekken on that game, on that system. Tekken 6 was on 3DS. You know, it's funny. This stream has basically become ranting, but it's true. It's true. What a time to be alive, though. You know, we are in the most innovative time in history right now because of the accessibility of games. You know, we've been able to have so much fun. You know, I've played Mortal Kombat, I've played Street Fighter 6. All of them are great games. Tekken, of course, is also a great game. Don't think anyone can deny that. It's probably one of the most, if not the most, sold fighting game this year so far. And it's for a good reason. For a good reason why that's the case. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get my capture card so that I can charge my controller. Because the online menus before I did this, but it was a randomized idea. I couldn't play Street Fighter 6 for fun. Instead, I could do that if I wanted to. I might even do that just for fun. Because I know the Street Fighter 6 menu. Yeah, I know the Street Fighter 6 menus. At least until I figure out the Tekken menus, because I do want to figure them out eventually and play